Justin Crumpler is going to talk about ILG and some of the insights that you can get out of the data from effectively managing this whole options portion of the consumer process.
Thank you, Tim, and thanks for that, Dennis. That was fantastic. Okay. Yeah, this is my first time doing one of these, and of course I'm following Dennis Webb, so we're going to do our best here. My name's Justin Crumpler. I'm the Senior Account Executive at Interior Logic Group's Technology Solutions Division. I've been in the industry for a little over a decade, and every second of that has been spent right there at the intersection of technology and home design. So I'm really excited to be speaking with you all today. I am really honored to be part of this panel, so thank you guys for having me. My topic is leveraging tech and analytics to harness crucial options profit. And we're going to start by just looking at an industry snapshot over the last 3 years, and we're going to try and tease out some of the trends we can expect to see in 2023. So in the years 2020 through 2022, obviously we have seen new home sales figures going down. We have seen the median home sales price going up. The one thing that we've seen that's been relatively stable during this time, according to ILG's technology platform data, is average options profit as a percentage of the new home sales price. So heading into 2023, we don't need a crystal ball to predict that we're probably going to see new home sales figures continue to decline. We're very likely going to see and are already seeing home builders out there issuing price reductions to the sales price of their home in an effort to win business. So how can builders start to recoup some of these lost option dollars in these softening market conditions? Certainly one way is they can lean into options dollars. So we can fully expect to see builders returning to personalization and driving options profit to that 30% mark that Dennis mentioned, or even higher than that.
Maybe if you do some of the stuff Ed talked about earlier, we can package a few options and maybe even bump that up a little bit higher.
We'll get into that for sure. Now, as the up-and-coming tech guy on the panel, some of you may have been hoping for something a little bit more innovative than just statistics on a PowerPoint. And I do want to let you know that we have today brought the most powerful tools available at our disposal. So allow me to introduce to you
emojis. Oh, very
emojis
nice.
Today. Yeah. It's a lot to take in, I realize. So we've got nervous emoji, we've got scared emoji. Today we're going to be talking about the one at the bottom, and we're going to try and figure out why it's smiling. So how did these industry trends affect home personalization? 2020 through 2022, let's call it the name your price era. We had housing demand greatly exceeding supply, so much so that home builders really became order takers, right? And we saw a lot of you start to reduce your efforts in full home personalization. We saw a lot of you start selling in packages. So why is that? Well, for one thing, sales are going so well, full personalization is just not necessary. Supply chain made you be much more careful about what products you were offering to your customers, and particularly relevant for the lockdown portion of the pandemic, we had these largely inaccessible design experiences, right? And we've got design teams across the country reinventing their processes just so that they can continue to meet with customers. So 2023, let's call it the back to basics era. We're already seeing housing demand moderation. Home builders need to relearn, right, how to market and sell homes. We're seeing those prices and profits starting to decelerate. And we're fully expecting to see builders leaning back into personalization. And there's a couple of factors that support that outlook. Number one, everybody fingers crossed, is the stabilization of the supply chain. And number two, we're starting to see technology tools becoming more available that are easing those personalization and option selections experiences. So how do home builders stay ahead in all this? We've already talked about, securing every available dollar out there is very important. And builders should endeavor to attain an options profit as a percentage of the new home sales price at 30% or even higher. And one of the ways that you can do that is you can leverage digital platforms. So we've talked a little bit about the automotive industry today. Chances are if you bought a car in the last 5 years, you had the opportunity to go online and configure that car and price that car and even visualize that car before you ever set foot in a dealership. And that's even if you had to set foot in the dealership, right? Many dealerships now offer the option to buy the car, have it delivered to your home. We in the tech industry, we like to refer to that as the Tesla experience, right? And the Tesla experience, what it really does is it educates and empowers home buyers so that they can make their own decisions. And as the automotive industry found out, when when buyers feel educated and empowered to make decisions, you're going to see that naturally driving incremental sales because of the transparency that's been kind of a theme throughout our conversation.
There's a psychological phenomenon that occurs on online sales where self-initiated buyers and self-supported buyers spend more happily than buyers that are being sold something by a human. It's kind of an Amazon effect. You'll put more money in your Amazon cart and be happier about it than if you're at a physical retail store being sold something from somebody else.
I spent, just a quick segue here, I spent 8 years in a low and high voltage design studio, which was really unique because we were still part of the design studio process, but we saw home buyers coming to us immediately after their first design studio appointment. And 8 years of that and 2,000 clients that are saying the exact same thing, which is, I just got back from the design studio. I had no idea what I was going to be selecting. I don't know what the prices are, and they want me to make decisions yesterday. Yep. And that's a big reason why I ended up here with ILG, is to kind of help solve some of those problems. So yeah, transparency is a big deal. And customer resources, very big deal. So in addition to securing every available dollar, home builders are going to need to secure a larger share of the available home buyer prospects. Right, and yes, you can offer more personalization, that's going to help, but another thing that's going to help is marketing your modern online shopping experiences, showing them that you're current with the curve of shopping experiences, right? People are used to buying things on Amazon, buying their cars online, so home builders need to follow suit. And those tools, those digital tools, should definitely include access to full configuration, access to pricing, and ideally a visualization component so that customers can truly see the impact of the decisions that they're making. And then another big benefit of adopting digital shopping tools is that a lot of these will connect directly with your home builder operating systems, and that's going to help reduce a lot of manual lift, reduce or eliminate some of those more tedious manual processes like data entry, order processing, et cetera. But probably one of the biggest benefits to adopting digital shopping platforms is going to be the analytics that are coming out of those platforms. So here you see a snapshot out of ILG's Design My Home Analytics dashboard. You've got some very powerful analytical data here. But what are analytics and how can builders use them to stay ahead? With relation to digital shopping experience, analytics is simply the process by which we record digital actions or clicks into sortable databases and categories, right? And those clicks, they tell a story about customer preferences. And when you have that data, you can make some very powerful decisions. Number one, you can rationalize your product catalog. If you know what options, for instance, are performing well, or what options customers are clicking on most or least, for instance, then you can put your best foot forward in terms of offering options to subsequent home buyers. You can also take that data to your suppliers and use it as ammunition to negotiate supplier pricing. So that's also very powerful, something that's going to help you to value engineer your product catalog. And then when it comes to merchandising, if you know what products are trending, you can and should be featuring those products in your sales centers, in your design studios, and crucially, on your online platforms and on your website, right? And obviously, analytics help you to know where you stand in your business. And most analytical platforms will drill down to a very micro level. So not only do you have this wide snapshot of how your business is operating, but you can also see what's happening across individual communities or individual households, or even see how individual performers are doing. So your design studio salespeople, your home salespeople, giving them the analytics and the tools to know how they're doing, make a more competitive workplace environment. So those are just a few ways that analytics can help you to drive business decisions. So conclusions coming out of this. For home builders, right, lean into personalization. That is one way that you can leverage, options dollars against softening market conditions. But in order to do that well, you need to listen to your customers and you need to listen to your employees and use whatever tools are at your disposal. So, if you've invested in technology platforms, that might be survey data, that might be analytics data. Otherwise, good old-fashioned word of mouth still works, right? If you listen to your customers and what they want, and you listen to your employees and they're telling you how they can give the customers what they want, you're going to be able to get to your customers first, you're going to be able to compete for that customer, you're going to be able to win. Also, home builders, you've got to embrace technology. And I'm not saying go out and buy a technology platform today, but get the conversation started. Know what's out there, know what tools are at your disposal. Be like Dennis Webb, right? Champion early adoption. Get your data organized And when you're talking to innovators, give us candid feedback, right? Tell us the whole story. In the words of Jerry Maguire, right? Help us help you. Because if we know what your problems are, we're going to work to fix them. Technology innovators. We've got to do a better job of listening to builders. So often we find ourselves on this track. We don't want to diverge from that path. The builder's telling us they need to solve problem X, and we're still trying to solve problem Y. So we have to be better listeners as well, and we can take that feedback and we can take the data that we have, and we can learn how to be better. And then lastly, we need to collaborate to innovate. Here you can see a snapshot from Housing Transformation Summit 2021. In that snapshot, you'll see people that are generally viewed in this industry as competitors. You've got my colleague Jeff Trapp from ILG, you've got representatives AlphaVision, BDX InSearch, everybody's favorite moderator / referee, John Galante. And this was my first HTS 2021, and I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it, and I think me and everybody is expecting, WWE.
Fight to break out?
Yeah, 2021. But what we got was these people that are typically viewed in the industry as competitors, putting that aside, coming together to advance industry knowledge. And that's why Housing Transformation Summit and forums like this are so crucial to industry success. So we need to listen to and learn from like-minded innovators, and we need to share our successes with each other.
Well, we're a highly fragmented industry with only almost 19,000 individual participants in the home building side. So collaboration is absolutely essential. And in most cases, you really think about it, we don't really compete against each other as much as we compete against used homes. And I think that's got to become the common enemy of everybody, used homes, and build the health of our industry.
Yeah, totally agree.